about it. Tell me all about it. I'm here. I wanna know what's on your mind. Ooh, the world needs to hear from you, and I'm so glad to have a conversation to reach the nation. And it's all about you. We'll help each other to discover innovative ways to positively change the world. Let's talk about. Let's talk about. Yeah. Let's talk about conversations with Nicole.
Greetings. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, your host. And Conversations with Nicole is a talk show based in Tallahassee, Florida, focused on connecting the community through conversations. And today is what I call Wellness Wednesday, which is an opportunity for you and me and my guests to chat about something interesting and intriguing. And May is Women's Health Month. And today we are talking women's self-empowerment. And I have not one, not two, but three guests today, three lovely ladies who will be talking all about women's self-empowerment. But before I bring them on, I need to hear from y'all. Where are you tuning in from? We are live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn. Your comments, your questions are very much so welcome. This is an interactive live and a safe space for us to engage with one another. So please put your city and state in the comments so we can definitely give you a shout out. And be sure to like and share. Tag a friend, tag a lady friend. Let her know she needs to be on here. So I see you, Kesey, who's here in Tallahassee. Thank you for joining us. My mom is on down in Miami. Love you, Ma. Thank you for being here. Miss Tracy Golay is here. She probably is somewhere between Tallahassee and Pensacola, but appreciate you, Tracy, for tuning in. So I have, again, three lovely ladies who are on with me tonight, and I'm super excited and delighted to have them on with me. I'm going to start with Miss Jenetta Nelson, who actually is why we are even here today, because she has a special event coming up that she is hosting and she's going to tell us about. But Jenetta Nelson is a social worker with almost 30 years of domestic and international experience. She worked in various areas of social work, such as medical, administrative, mental health, hospice, and in the United Kingdom, she was a deputy supervisor in the Child Protection Department. She serves as the program director with the Sickle Cell Foundation, contract master level therapist. She also provides life coaching and professional listening services under her business Beyond Your Surface. She is the mother of one child, her daughter, who transitioned in 2020. Due to that life-changing experience, she's had to redefine who she was and develop healthy coping skills in order to keep moving forward. Emotional freedom tapping is a method she has used for many years. And she actually was on the show, I guess it's been about a year and a half ago now, doing the tapping method, and it was so wonderful because it was so calming. So y'all will have to go back and check out the replay for that particular show. But anyway, y'all help me welcome Miss Jenetta Nelson.
Yay. Good evening. How are you?
Well, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. So glad to have you here. So tell the folks briefly, who is Jenetta? Not what you do, but who are you?
Jenetta Nelson is a very resilient human being who taps the power within to help her to navigate through all the roller coaster rides, ups and downs, the curves through life, so that I can continue to move forward. I've learned how to tap that power within and trust myself, trust my higher power, so that I can overcome any and everything that crosses my path.
Love it. Wonderful, beautiful description of yourself. All right. So I think next we will go with Miss Carissa, Hunter. Carissa Hunter is a board certified integrative health practitioner, speaker, and founder of Whole Health IQ, a wellness practice dedicated to helping Black and Brown women reconnect with their bodies through mind body therapies, functional lab testing, and holistic education. Through her work, she empowers clients with deeper insights into their health and provides personalized strategies for healing, fostering a path toward wholeness, self trust, and vibrant well being. With over 14 years of combined experience bridging both conventional healthcare and alternative medicine, Carissa guides clients toward greater self awareness, self acceptance, and empowered health choices. Drawing from her rich background as a former medical assistant, clinical herbalist, aromatologist, and birth and bereavement doula, Carissa's approach blends science and soul. I like that. Her passion centers on healing women, especially women of color, understand their body's natural capacity for healing while affirming their lived experience. She is a speaker of Loving Life Women's Self Empowerment Symposium, which is the event that we will be talking about in just a little bit. And she will share insights on self acceptance and validation, inviting women to embrace all facets of themselves as part of their healing journey. Y'all, help me welcome Carissa Hunter. Yay!
Hello.
Greetings. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good. Glad to have you. So, if you don't mind just sharing who Carissa is, not what you do, but who are you in your own words?
Well, before any roles or titles, I am a human. I'm a woman, a mother, a sister, a friend, a kindred spirit. I walk this path not just as, or not a guru. I'm not a perfect teacher, but a lifelong student. I like to call myself always a student of life. I'm applying my tools that are my birthright and ones that I've just not studied academically, but through lived experiences.
Love that. Thank you so much for sharing
Thank
that.
you.
It's beautiful. All right. And last but certainly not least, she is no stranger to conversations with Nicole, Miss Sonia B. Sonia Benson. Sonia B is well known and respected as a certified sexologist, intimacy coach, speaker, group facilitator. She's here in Tallahassee, Florida. She specializes in sexual wellness. Her newest project, one of her newest projects, is Cocktails and Conversations with Me. And we have had quite a few uh, events that we've done in person, focused primarily on women. Although we are looking to do some some co-ed things hopefully soon. And so she facilitates discussions on adult topics and classes in a safe space and a powerful setting. She normalizes conversations around sex and relationships and self-care. And you can find her doing a whole bunch of other things too, which we gonna get into later. But y'all help me welcome Sonia B. Boom.
Yeah. Hey, and I hope my camera's not glitching because I don't know why it was sounding a little glitchy for a second there. So I'm hoping I'm okay. I'm across my fingers.
No, you looking good. You looking good. You look good. All
Okay,
right.
excellent. Okay.
Yes. Tell the peoples who is Sonia B. Not what you do, but who are you in your own words.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I am a sensuous woman, an artist, a free spirit, and a lover of beauty, joy, and all things transformational.
Love it. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, good deal. So we got a number of folks chiming in. I want to definitely pause to acknowledge them briefly. My sister Shayla, who's down in Miami. Thank you for being here, Shay. Letitia, happy Wednesday. All great people. Thank you for joining us. She's here in Tally. Miss Princess. Good evening, ladies and everyone. Thank you. Thank you for being here, Princess. We got Philip. Co-ed, yay, because I'm a man. All right, Philip. We gonna hook you up after a while. We got Mike Hunter Jr. Happy Thursday morning. Okay, I don't know where you at, Mike, that it's Thursday morning, but it's
That's my soldier. That's my husband. He's
okay.
deployed right now.
All right. Well, look, it's Wednesday here, so happy Wednesday. Good evening, Latina in Tampa. Thank you for joining us. Beautiful woman as well. Thank you, Philip. We appreciate that. And Miss Jeanette is on with us down in Miami Gardens. All right. Oh, and Clarice Shackleford. Hey, Clarice. Thank you for being here. Yes.
From Cali.
All right, nice. So, Jenetta, I think we'll start with you. Let us know about the symposium and what it's all about, and just give us the lowdown on everything.
Well, like you said earlier, I after the loss of my daughter, I had to redefine myself, and during that process, I learned that I have a lot of strength and a lot of tools that I wasn't aware of before.
Mhm.
And my spiritual journey was heightened through this whole grief journey. And so recognizing my gifts to the world, I said, I have to share them. That's the purpose of the gifts. And I've always had a vision of doing a symposium. But fear and anxiety held me back. And then it was like God just like thumped me on the head and said, look, it's time. Okay. So I was like, I surrender. And so I decided to do the symposium this year and invite women to come out and really connect with themselves, have a day of just self-focus and self-care. And we're going to do that by tapping the power within. We're going to show you how to tap the power within. We're going to start the journey of self-discovery, self-validation, and self-acceptance. And these are like passionate topics for me. I have a passion I've always had a passion for uplifting, encouraging, and inspiring other people, but particularly women, because I am a woman and I can relate to a lot of different experiences. And so I gathered my dear friends, these two ladies, and my team, my family, my friends all supported me and been behind me all the way, so that we could pull this off. And it is tickets are selling fast.
Nice. So the flyer was up on the screen, but it's coming Memorial Day weekend, May 24th. And those who are interested in tickets can go to the website and purchase, right?
Yes, and I have to tell you that there are very, very few tickets left. So you have to move fast.
All right. Very good. So it's a ladies only event. And it's from 11 to 2. Lunch is provided. And so, yeah, it looks like it's going to be great.
Yes. And so when I thought about the topics, and the team and I, came up with these two ladies came to mind. Okay. Because I talk to them all the time, and we share our spiritual journey, our spiritual experiences. Mm-hmm. We've grown together as women and as friends, and they said yes, and I was just elated. So Carissa, she's in El Paso. Where are you again?
El Paso, Texas, the western tip, near Mexico, literally.
Yes, and this is her second trip back. This will be her second trip back to Florida for the symposium.
Nice.
And so I talked to both of them about the topics, and they were like, "Yes, let's do it." I left it up to them to come up with their own talking points because I trust them, and I know they're going to do a phenomenal job.
Nice. Well, I hate that I'll be out of town, but I know it's going to be great. So
thank you.
Definitely wishing you all well. So women's self-empowerment, when we hear that, what do we think of? Anybody?
Well, so I think that self-empowerment is doing the things that would actually uplift you and expand you, help you grow, help you heal. I think activities and a focus that would actually shift where you are right now to where you're wanting to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be the definition that comes up for me in this moment.
Okay, nice. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
All right. Anybody else? Women's
The
self-empowerment?
Yeah, I could say the first thing that comes to mind is reconnecting with your wholeness. That's the
Mm,
first thing that comes to my mind.
okay. Nice. Nice. Nice.
And for me, it's a part of taking control of your life
Mm,
and making decisions that are best for you, and not allowing outside sources, outside stimuli to really dictate, the route that you should take or how you should handle the different experiences in life. So it's like taking control of your life by making decisions that are best for you. And it doesn't mean that, you know, you're to be selfish,
mm-hmm.
because you're not, because you're taking care of yourself. It's not being selfish, but we do have to take care of ourselves. And once we realize how much power we have, we're empowering ourselves, through the process.
Okay. That's all of that sounds great. It really does. I'm gonna get our viewers to chime in. When you hear that term self-empowerment, women's self-empowerment, in particular, what do you think of? Let us know in the comments if you don't mind sharing. Women's self-empowerment, what do you think of? So while they are doing that, and I will share their comments shortly, I know that there were some things that we wanted to definitely tap into during this discussion, right? So I think self-discovery was one.
Yeah, self-discovery is what I'll be speaking about at the
Okay.
symposium. Of course, I'm a self-discovery enthusiast.
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
So yeah, but to be self-discovery, I mean, I think that we hear that, and I like to say that I think that a lot of times we operate under assumptions. You assume you know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
However, there are things that are probably many layers below that may support you in connecting to the most authentic part of yourself that you just may not be aware of. And so sometimes part of our self-discovery process is peeling back layers and kind of maybe removing some of the influence from the outside that may have you thinking that you're this person and you're actually this person. So really getting a chance to tap in and plug into yourself so that you're aware, you have a better awareness of who you are and what you really stand for. Like what means the most to you? What is it that is really truly in your heart and not just in your head and not just what you picked up.
Okay. Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. So we have a few folks that have joined us and have answered the question about self-empowerment. Let me acknowledge Ciola Grant, who's in Tallahassee, and Miss Patricia Powell, who is also here in Tallahassee. But Mr. Chris Davis is on, and he said that self-empowerment is affirming your self-worth. Affirming your self-worth. Thank you for that, Chris.
Yeah.
Yes. Letitia said connecting to my inner self.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Thinks about self-empowerment. Thank you for sharing that. And Kesey said loving self, being mindful about what you want and don't want, knowing when to say no and setting boundaries. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I love that. I love that definition.
Yes.
And let me just say the 5 things that I plan on talking about at the symposium. 1, knowing yourself. So that's identifying your passions, your values. What is it? What makes you who you are? Honoring your story. That's past, present, and future. So honoring who you are, owning your voice. Kesey just mentioned that about the being able to speak up, saying, so being able to own your authentic voice as opposed to somebody else's voice, cultivating your inner power, and then also living your truth. So that's just a bit, and we're going to break it down during the symposium so that we really get a chance to see where in all of those areas is this authentic for me, and where maybe, is this my mama's voice? Is this, what I grew up with? Is this just my culture's voice? Like, what is me authentically, and what is, and where am I maybe abandoning who I really am?
That's good. That's real good.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, because we tend to live our lives based on what we've been taught, what we've learned, and also past experiences that kind of guide the way that we respond now in life. And so getting in touch with the authentic being, your authentic self, which means silencing all of the outside noise
Mhm.
that has created things that just that doesn't do you any good, but
Yeah.
silencing that noise and really getting in tune with what you're feeling and what you know to be true about yourself, and not what someone else has embedded in you. And it doesn't mean that they're bad people, because everybody, well, most people do the best that they can, but it's still, some things get stuck in the head.
Mhm.
And so with this self-discovery process with Sonia, we want to silence that outside noise, and help you to focus only on you during that time.
Nice, nice, nice. No, that's good. So we have a few more comments. Um, Clarice, being rooted in who you are, higher self, forgiveness and acceptance, and being present.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you for that. Patricia, gaining control of your life, personal growth. Yes, thank you for that. Ms. Jeanette, empowerment could be realizing that Black women are beautiful humans. Be proud of the contributions we bring to society. Yes, thank you,
Yes,
Ms.
ma'am.
Jeanette. Yes. All right. And Tracy, women's self empowerment is standing on what you believe and what is true to you.
That's
Yes.
my sister.
Thank you, Sister Tracy. All right. And Patricia said self empowerment is different for everyone based on their experiences in life. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as we learn things, going through life from childhood on up, a lot of things become a norm, and we don't realize that we're living we're living we're living our lives based off of things that we've learned and
Mm,
what we've been told. And so this symposium is a perfect way to recognize that,
yeah.
which is like the first step in is recognizing it, and then realizing and accepting the fact that a change is needed. And with
Mm.
all the changes that are occurring in the world right now, whew, I think
Right.
that was my motivating point for this year. I was like, okay, we need something to help people, stay centered, regain their balance, or, get some balance in their life as we navigate through all of these changes. And
Mhm.
when we're going through things like this, what's normal for us and what we're used to and what we're comfortable with is where we will gravitate to, but
Mm.
it doesn't always mean that it's the best way to handle it.
Right.
So like Sonia said, you got to go within, and that's what we plan to do in that portion of the symposium.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay, very good. Well, I again, I hate that I'm gonna miss this, but it sounds like this is gonna be a deep dive and some really great work that's gonna be done for the attendees, right? So validation, I think, is what Carissa is gonna talk about, correct?
Yes,
Uh,
self-acceptance, self-validation. It works all intertwined with each other with self-discovery.
yeah.
How I look at it. Self-acceptance, we'll talk about, embracing all of the parts of you, your
Mm-hmm.
strengths, your flaws, living experience without judging yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Self-validation, affirming your own feelings, your needs, those experience without seeking that external approval,
Mm-hmm.
saying to yourself, I'm enough as I am in this season. What I feel and need matters.
Yes.
And the cost of, we'll go into the synopsis where we'll walk through the cost of what it looks like seeking that external validation, and what it's done over generations. And to
Mm,
touch on what Jenetta was saying, I talk about a lot about womb wisdom. We're like living archives,
mm,
because we come from generations of wombs, our grandmothers and our mothers, And it's a big core, a part of our healing, because it affects our relationships. It affects how we respond to the types of relationships and situations in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the question too we can all agree on is why the work matters. Because there's a question that comes up for me, why do we as women like to stick in the pain, stay stuck in the pain when we say we want healing, right? And we come to realize, especially throughout my own journey, I could say that many of us, especially Black, brown, multicultural women, we're addicted to the essence of trauma. And so, not because we want to be, but because our nervous system has normalized the chaos and the pain, and we don't always know how to exist in peace. So we keep recreating survival loops and calling it strength. And I don't say that from a distance, I say it from lived experience. And I'm a part of that 80% of women living with clinically diagnosed complex PTSD. And I didn't accept that label until I was in my 30s. For years, I felt like I would define or be defined, or it'll make myself less whole. So, but now I realize it gives me a language for what I was living through and a pathway to move forward differently. So me as a woman, like you, like everyone, your sisters, your aunties, I approach my own healing more clearly and more compassionate and courageously. And I don't just perform it for wellness. I like to say I live it. And honestly, that's what I want for every woman I work with. My own aunties, they're in their 50s and 60s, and they're just now seeing themselves, trying to find who they are. And I want to see other women have the ability to validate herself without bleeding for it, and the courage to accept all those parts of herself, even the ones still finding their way through life.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. She just said a mouthful.
Listen, I mean, she had me on validation, just period. Because
Thank you, God.
yeah, I recognize the human condition is that we all desire to love and be loved, right? And so, with that said, that whole validation piece is huge. And so, this is close to me right now, because I have been listening to like motivational videos that talk around if you want to be loved, then you must first love yourself. And so you loving yourself will attract the love that you desire, right? And so I think when I hear again validation, I think if we could just validate our own selves, you know what I'm saying? How great would that be, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, we hear that tossed around so much. Like, we hear the love yourself, love yourself, love yourself. However, if that's not something you're accustomed to, how do you know how to do that?
Exactly.
And then also, if you don't even know who yourself is,
that part too.
Exactly.
Yeah. So then there's so much more that requires that we excavate and learn, and then possibly even get the tools, because a lot of us are missing the tools to even do the loving yourself part. I mean, one of the exercises I plan to do is like a mirror exercise where we get to get a chance to talk to yourself. But how often do we in the mirror look at yourself and say something loving? That is unusual, and often we would be very uncomfortable with that, with something like that. But but learning how to be compassionate, knowing how to talk to yourself. I will sometimes say to myself, like, it's okay, mama. It's okay. You can do this. And I hear myself talk to my little girl and say kind stuff. And so we get to pay attention to, am I speaking sweetly or gently or kindly to myself, or am I harsh? Am I coming from myself when I make mistakes? Like, or am I talking to myself like I would do a beloved 2-year-old that I'm like, I would want that you're all hear loving words when something happens, as opposed to, I can't believe you just did that,
Yeah.
I think too, it you can look at how we're socialized as women in general to find out what tools you can, or what things you need to address. I would imagine. So look at how it has cost your external environment mental stimuli, people pleasing. I'm an ex people pleaser, overachievement, your perfectionism, putting others' needs first, and the
Yes.
impact it's had on your body and your mind. We can
Mhm.
go through the ages, but all women, I guess, most of us, burnout, chronic stress,
Mm.
hormone imbalances, the autoimmune flare ups, the disconnection from our body cues. I intertwine the science because that alone tells you, okay, what can I look at? Or I visually see the symptoms of the cost of that external validation.
Mhm.
Even going to the doctor is self-care and figuring out where I need to stop doing too much. I need to lay off on saying yes all the time and say no
Mm-hmm.
more.
Mm-hmm.
That's a start.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Because in understanding that you can say no in many different ways
Mhm.
by setting those boundaries. Someone
Yeah.
wants you to do something. I'm not available to do it now, but can we wait another day? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If someone's asking to borrow money, I'm sorry, my money is obligated right now. If I could help you, I would help you, so you don't have to say the word no. And I think a lot of people struggle with that.
They
And so
do.
the other thing about setting those boundaries is looking at it as not saying no, but look at it as putting your well-being first, putting
Mm.
your family
Girl.
first, putting your children first. Instead of
Mhm.
looking at it as turning someone down, you're actually prioritizing yourself.
Yes.
And
Yep.
that we lack that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
So
get quite a few comments about boundaries. We have to know, Patricia said we have to know our boundaries and commit to them. Uh Tone.
Tony,
Yeah.
Tony,
Okay.
Tony, my girl out of Virginia.
Okay, cool. Thank you for being here, Tony. Boundary is not a curse word. That's right.
I like that.
It is
Yes.
That's
not.
good.
Yeah.
Yes. It is not. It is not. So we
Yeah.
are a little more than halfway through our talk. For those of you who are just joining us, we're talking women's self-empowerment. I have Jenetta Nelson, Carissa Hunter, and Sonia Benson all getting ready for the Beyond Your Surface Life Coaching Services Loving Life Women's Self-Empowerment Symposium. And let me put this banner down. And that's going to be on Saturday, May 24th. It's a ladies only event right here in Southwood, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Lunch will be served. Tickets $30. You can go to the website. The flyer is up on the screen. Only a few tickets left, but Sonia B and Carissa are two of the featured speakers who will be talking about self-empowerment for women. And so we've been talking about self-discovery, validation, and it's going to be a great event. So yes.
the goal is for everyone to walk away with an unforgettable positive experience. So
Right.
whatever you walk away with that day, nothing for the rest of the day should bother you at all, and it's going to carry over to the next day.
Okay.
We will also have a session of like just meditation, breathing, and just connecting with self,
Nice.
to kind of prepare you for the sessions. And then also we're hoping that we'll be able to do some sound bowl healing time during the symposium too. So it's like when you're connecting with yourself, connecting with your higher power, you find solace and peace in that. And so we want to help you all to start that journey to do that, because
Right.
when you're centered, nothing else matters. Nothing, when you're centered, the outside noise, it doesn't impact you the same way. People's
Mhm.
behaviors do not impact you the same way, because
Yeah.
when you have validated who you are and accepted yourself for who you are, for all the great things and even the areas that need to be improved,
Mhm.
the world can't touch you. The world
Mm.
can't touch you
Yeah.
unless you allow it to.
Right. And I appreciate that you said that, Jeanette. I have a story, and I've often told this story before, so you guys may be hearing it again. I don't know if I've said it on on Nicole's show or not. As part of a class that I was in, part of our empowerment was to do self-care items for ourselves. And so we were setting up things that maybe we hadn't set up before. So I set up a monthly not meditation, excuse me, a monthly massage. So I was getting these massages monthly. And I happened to go one day and leave the massage, getting in my car, and the person in the parking lot actually lashed out at me for whatever reason. She was in a little booth. Now, normally I would match energies because who are you talking to? However, in the moment, I felt nothing but compassion for her. And I was like, oh my God, you're probably having a bad day. I hope you have a better day. And
Right.
I wished her love and said some things really sweetly and kindly and told her that I wish she have a better day. And then I went on about my business. But then I asked myself, why didn't she get the other side? Like, why didn't she who are you talking to? And I was like, oh, because you just came from taking care of yourself. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
felt so good in my body. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay. So no, she was not going to come. And like you just said, Jenetta, she was not going to come move me off of my square. The way that I had filled up in that moment, I felt really, really good. And I felt very solid and centered in myself. So then having somebody snap at me did not mean that I needed to I didn't have to stoop to her level and come in at that energy. I was able actually to offer her love.
Yeah.
Right, right. Have you had the moments where you do that and you're like, wait a minute, did I just say that? That's not what I really wanted to say. It's like, God, you were really doing your job.
That's funny. That's funny. So Mike is sending some hearts.
And you
Yes.
know what, Jenetta, I want to say, and I shared this with Jenetta. It's been probably, I'm gonna be honest, and I'm just as real as all get out. It's been a while since I've stood in front of a lot of women in general in these spaces. One, because I think as a community, what we miss is we have these events and then women leave and they have the tools, but they don't know where to start or
Mm,
apply them in real time. And so my prayer and confidence, I am looking forward to whoever attends that they leave and they are actually applying, because we could accumulate a lot of information and then we're not applying the tools. That's the majority of what happens. And even me standing in front of people or speaking in front of those, like I've had my own self acceptance and self validation journey, and it's been a journey and one I didn't always say yes to. And that's because sometimes when the audience sees a speaker and part of them think, oh, she must have all the confidence and she probably has it all figured out. Let me tell you, that was not my story for a while, for years. And I would have avoided opportunities like this, not because I didn't have nothing to say, but because I didn't feel like my gifts or I had gifts to share, or
mm,
because I didn't believe I had the right to take up space. And
mm,
so I was a constant caregiver in my home, tending to people I love all the time, practitioner to my community, offering support and resources. I had the tools, so many tools, and I taught others to use it for their healing. But the truth was that I wasn't applying it all the time to myself, and I had stood in my own way. And that was because of imposter thoughts. I moved away from imposter syndrome, but it was imposter thoughts. Who
mm,
am I to speak? Who am I to be seen? What if I'm not enough? And
mm,
I hope that the younger generation of women in the room, whether they're watching live and they plan to attend, they might ask themselves questions about their worth, their voice, their future. If you're older, you spend time and decades navigating through your roles or wherever you gave up and sacrificed and rarely pushed to validate yourself, wherever you are on the timeline. I just hope that you don't have to keep waiting for someone to hand you permission to be you. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No,
Yeah,
that's good.
exactly.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's real good. Karen just joined us. She said, I'm late to the conversation. Hey, everyone. Thank you for being here. Tina said, action, application, awareness, and acceptance. Love those takeaways. This is going to be an amazing event. Yes, indeed. No, that's all of that was really good.
And Carissa, you made a good point about not knowing your worth and not feeling that you deserve,
Mm-hmm.
the goodness, not that you don't deserve to be seen. And once when you step back and just take a look at yourself, like, and Sonia, I am so glad you're doing the mirror exercise.
I am too.
Because I was going to order mirrors. I was thinking
about the same thing. See how aligned we are?
We're all on the same page.
Perfect.
Yes. Yeah.
We are reflections of each other. I love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so when you step back and look at yourself in the mirror for who you know you are, and like talk to that sister in the mirror, tell her, I love you. It doesn't matter what you love about it. I don't care if it's the fingernail, it's the ear, the eyes. Tell yourself, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
And because a lot of times when we look in the mirror, we're looking in the mirror to see how we're going to look, how we're going to present ourselves to everybody else when we leave the house. But we rarely take time and look at that best friend that's in that mirror and love her for exactly who she is. Okay. Yeah, I cuss a lot. Okay, but I love you, girl. Okay, yeah, I got an attitude, but I love you. I love you. You got to lose weight, but I love you.
Yeah.
Accepting yourself for all that is great and all that you want to improve.
Yeah.
And I started the process when I was 25. That was a long time ago. I remember, and I learned it from Iyanla Van Zandt and doing that mirror exercise. And for the first time in my life at 25, I looked in the mirror and I just started just looking at myself. And then I noticed, oh, you know what? You got a cute little button nose. And oh, you do have little chingy eyes. And your lips are not as big as you thought they were. I was like, girl, you cute. And then I elevated to the level of, just hugging myself. And then I elevated to hugging myself and saying, I love you. And when you do that, you feel this warmth that just takes over your body. And we don't do that. We look in the mirror to make sure we're presentable to everybody else when we walk outside that door. But we can't accept the person that's in that mirror for who she is because we're trying to please everybody else. So I'm glad you made that point. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, that's very, very important. So, because I think all of us have been at a point in our life. Well, I think, especially in our 20s, where we thought we were the thing, but we were inside. We were so insecure.
We
were so insecure and not knowing what to do, where to go, and everybody's been there. And it doesn't matter where you are in life right now. It's not too late to start that journey
at all.
It's never too late. Everybody reaches the point at a different age. It's not what's the standards that society sets for us. It's what's on our divine path that God has set forth for us. Okay? And so at the symposium, we want to work on that. Now, we're not going to say you're going to be a totally different person when you leave, but you will feel better about yourself if you allow it to happen.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
It's a daily practice. It's a daily practice for sure.
It is. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It is. It is.
And reparenting yourself, that was a big part of reclaiming yourself, reparenting. A lot of it's connected, no matter what direction we come from, it goes to the womb, your mother womb. And we have to mother ourselves again. I'm proud of you. I am so proud of how far you come, is what I've had to tell myself. It's okay to rest, but don't quit.
Yeah.
Because rest is it's like liberation. It's our birthright.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're made in the image of God. He didn't take a picture and say, okay, he or she's going to look like this. No, we're made in his image.
Right.
So, yeah.
So Karen said, be open.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So important.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we will also have a panel discussion at the end where where everyone will be able to really open up and share, you know, their thoughts and their feelings. And we will have professionals at the symposium too. So, you know, because sometimes when you're doing this type of process, it kind of brings up some things. So we do have professionals who will be there to be able to support and guide you.
Nice. That's great. That's great. So I know we've talked around again, the self-discovery, the validation, some acceptance, some boundaries. Carissa, you mentioned reparenting ourselves. Tell us, can you share a little bit about what that kind of entails?
I will share my personal, and that could give you an example, I guess. And reparenting yourself. I had to work out some kinks from a distort relationship with my mother before I addressed anything. Before I addressed anything. And that has taken years. And I tell people the story of, I'm the oldest of my mother, but I was also the first to make it through the portal. And you pick up residue of generations of pain and hurt through the womb of your mother. And you hear that saying people say, karma can skip you and hit your kids. In a spiritual term, I had to walk through a lot of spiritual work and kinks for my mother. Not to blame her, but it was generational. It was a lot of mother-daughter connection and cultural, spiritual work that I had to do. And I had to love and communicate with myself a lot differently in ways that my mother couldn't, because I grew up living in her pain and her sorrow. So in order to not repeat that, I had to study me and study the womb as the center of power and the center of pain, so that I could deprogram a lot. There's a lot of deprogramming that. And I do it in my parenting with my children. And I change the narrative. How I speak to them is how I speak to myself, and it's healthier. And so there's different pieces to the puzzle. How I get up in the day and go about my day, how I respond to situations that are discomforting, relationship, marriage, how I feed myself, pray. It looks different for everyone. And so reparenting me was how I live my life. And I tell people this, it's like a form of protest in my home. It's a Black house. And that's how we protest. The way our children are emotionally fed, I emotionally feed myself. I'm healing that inner child in myself in order to become a better, healthier woman, and still pray for my mother. I may not see it, but God knows that I'm still breaking that generational curse so that it doesn't bleed into my daughter's womb and her daughters and my granddaughters and so on. And my son, you know? So
wow.
that's how I look at that.
Powerful.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. That is it.
It's so layered. It's so layered and deep, I know. And you have to sit with it and digest it like, ooh. Yeah. Thank you for that question. Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. I think, you know, we probably don't think in terms of all of that. All of that's been passed down from generation to generation, from womb to womb, right? And so I just thank you for giving space for that, and consideration for that, and intentionality to that, right? Because it matters. It makes a difference, and we can be so kind of oblivious to it all, but it's impacting us every
Right.
day.
Yeah,
Every
and we can be so oblivious because we're so caught up in the day to day. It's like there's so many
Right.
things that have to happen in the process of a day in order to make it through the day, through the week, through the month.
Yes.
However, being able to also kind of rise above all the fray and listen and be aware of what's in the space, because for me, a big part of reparenting is actually just me being able to hear what I actually need, like not even what I need now, what I needed then.
Mm-hmm.
What did I need as a little girl? What are the things that I needed to experience that maybe I did not feel like I got an opportunity to experience, or that I would have loved to experience? And then how do I say, okay, so here, here, this is for you now, baby. So, and being able to, again, come lead with that kindness and that love to say, okay, so yeah, let's play jacks. Let's do, let's have some fun, and some of it is even, I would say, reparenting for myself is allowing myself to do stuff that I kept myself captive in the past about. So
Wow.
maybe, maybe I was, because some of us, I know, raised in a very religious household, I was I was kind of very narrow about what I myself would think about whether I should be doing or not doing. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't dance to that. I shouldn't, but being able to say, now I'm going to say, no, go ahead, you can do that. Giving myself permission.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
it.
Yes.
Yep.
Given that permission. Yes.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. That's good. So we have Emmanuel and Felicia on. He said we're late to the party, but we're here. That's all right, E and Fee. I'm glad to see y'all. You all are here. You can always check out the replay. So we are getting close to our time, but I wanted to give you each an opportunity to give some closing remarks and to tell folks how they can connect with you. And I think, Carissa, let's start with you.
How you can connect with me?
And
Uh,
remarks, some closing remarks.
okay. I would say I want you to leave today remembering that you are already whole. Your worth is not on layaway. It lives in your cells. It lives in your breath, your presence every day. Self acceptance is not just self love, it's self liberation. To the young women, the ones who still figuring out, don't be afraid to seek counsel from older, wiser, emotionally healthy women. Not every answer is on your timeline. Not every elder or older woman is trying to control you. Some are just waiting to pour into you. And to my sisters in the middle, that's me, the bridge between generations, keep holding space for both reflection and responsibility. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to heal differently than how we were raised up. And to my elders, my beautifully seasoned flowers, you don't be afraid to listen to the younger ones. Wisdom doesn't always come with age, and sometimes it arrives through lived experiences in a new form. And it's never too late to unlearn, relearn, and rise again. And we're all a part of the same circle. And the way to reach me would be wholehealthiq.com. You can learn about my offerings and how to work with me. And you can also join me on social media. I am on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, Whole Health IQ.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for that.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Sonia B, any closing remarks?
Closing remarks. I just feel like the opportunity to actually use your tools, as we just talked about earlier, and know that it's all a journey. It is a journey, and there is. While we were sitting here talking, what I got was that I know we hear that, oh, I'm a work in progress, and I think we say it sometimes just to be cute, but really understanding that I am still growing. You are growing, so to expect like a baby that's crawling to be walking, they're not at that stage yet. So the opportunity is to understand you are perfect where you are, and you are growing. So you're going to be getting better and better and better. And so the opportunity is to allow yourself to step into the growing and embrace yourself at every stage. And I can be reached at SoniaBOnline.com. I also have my Cocktails with a Sexologist Instagram page, and Sonia B Online on Instagram as well.
All right. Very good. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. And last but certainly not least, Miss Jenetta. Close remarks and tell folks how they can connect with you.
Okay. Closing remarks. Just remember that it is your birthright to be happy. And it starts with you going within, and going within starts with the thought. And know that you deserve whatever you desire. And you do not have to rely on outside sources to know that you deserve it. Just tap the power within. And also, I wanted to let everybody know that we're doing the symposium that morning. And also, not ironically, nothing's ironic. It's my birthday weekend. So Saturday night. Okay, so after we've gotten our calm, cool, and serenity on, we're gonna go party at Signature Lounge to celebrate my birthday. Okay, nice. And we are going to have a party, and we're having a concert. We have Miss Chiffon Dion. She's coming all the way from Fayetteville, North Carolina. She's coming to do her tribute to Tina Turner, and she is bad, okay? And then we have Southern Soul artist Mr. Sky Watley coming down from the ATL. He's looking for that auntie love, okay? So come on out and join us. You can get your tickets at beyondyoursurface.com, or you can wait and pay at the door. It's $25 general admission, $35 for VIP, which will include hors d'oeuvres.
All right. Very good.
And you can reach me at beyondyoursurface.com.
Okay. Let me put that up. There you go. All right. Very good. So this has been a great conversation, and just, I feel like the tip of the iceberg. We just touched the surface. So inviting all of the ladies to come participate in the event. As Jenetta said, there are only a few tickets left. So you don't want to miss it. And I feel like we need to probably have a part 2 to this conversation, because I feel like there's like so much more that we can talk about.
Nicole, I also wanted to say that the party that night is for everybody.
Okay. Yes. So the party is not just ladies only. It's everybody can come, right? The men can
Yes.
Yes. All right. So again, viewers, I hope this was beneficial to you. If it was, let us know in the comments. Let us know. I see some folks have commented. Miss Patricia said, unlearn, relearn, and rise again. Yes, absolutely. All right. Karen throwing up some celebration and birthday cake for you. Yes. Getting the party started already. All right. Trisha said, I would love to come. However, I will be in North Carolina. All right. We'll have to catch you next time. All right. Mr. Kurt, great job, ladies. Thank you, Kurt. Angela gave us some hearts.
Angela.
Okay. Mr. Mike said, y'all have a wonderful day. I tapped in because my baby was going to be on a panel heading out. 24-hour shift duty. All right. Love it. Wonderful. All right. Lillian Jack joined us. Thank you for being here, Lillian. Miss Jeanette, very enlightening for all ages. Thank you, Miss Jeanette. Tony, enjoy the conversation. Yes. Eric, thank you for being here, Eric. He said, thank you, host Nicole. And ladies, I'm late, but I really enjoyed what I heard. Greatness takes time. Yes. Faith with impact moves mountains. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Thank you for chiming in, Eric.
Hey, Joanne.
Miss Joanne Watson. Thank you for
Hey,
being here,
Joanne.
Joanne. And Sheila, thank you for being here, Sheila. Hope you're doing well. Clarice, I needed this. Thank you.
Aw, thank you for coming.
Thank you for
Thank you.
tuning in. Yes, for sure. So, for those of you who are new to Conversations with Nicole, I invite you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and particularly, we are live on Mondays and Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Focus on mental health and wellness in Black and Brown communities specifically. And we would love your viewership on a regular basis. So, we have some interesting topics. Monday, we dealt with maternal mental health because this week is Maternal Mental Health Week. Today is Maternal Mental Health Day. The whole month of May is Maternal Mental Health Month, as well as it's Mental Health Awareness Month. And so we are really hyper focused on mental health this month.
Right.
Yeah, so definitely want to encourage folks to be their best selves and get their checkup from the neck up. Yes. All right. Let's see. Tracy, love you, Clara. All right.
And my cousin Clarice.
Got
Aw.
you. My sister's giving some hand claps. Thank you again, Shay, for being here. And Tracy, great conversation and really great collaboration and energy. Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you, Tracy.
She could feel it. She could feel it. All right. All right. So, ladies that are here in Tallahassee, y'all need to get your tickets and don't miss this event on March 24th. And for those of you who want to come celebrate with Jenetta and have a good time, definitely check out at Signature Lounge on the same day. And you can go to, what's the website again, Jenetta?
BeyondYourSurface.com.
BeyondYourSurface.com to get all of the details for everything that we talked about. All right. Yes. Look, Patricia putting up May 24th. Thank you. All right, ladies, thank y'all so much for this conversation.
Thank you.
Let's definitely keep the conversation going. So y'all please share this link on YouTube with folks that you think would benefit from the things that were said here today. All right. All right, good people. Y'all be safe and we will see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.